Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. The American Cancer Institute estimates that nearly 14,000 women will be diagnosed with cervical cancer this year, with the majority of those women being between the ages of 35 and 44. In January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, so we're here to share tips on prevention. We welcome Dr. Dana Cohen. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's pretty shocking to hear such a young age range in the majority of those diagnoses. So let's just start with the misconceptions about cervical cancer. There are a lot of things some myths that we need to bust here today.
So that's one of them, that it only affects older women. Cervical cancer affects women of all ages, older than puberty. The second would be that it's not preventable, because it is. And the third is that you need multiple sexual partners to get cervical cancer. That's not true.
Right, and so going back to the number two, that there are some prevention tactics that we can take. Can you give us some helpful tips to help us have that prevention top of mind?
Yeah, so lifestyle plays a huge role in cervical cancer. It's directly related to our immune system. So HPV is what causes cervical cancer, and HPV can be prevented by helping our immune system. So the first would be hydration. Always start with hydration whenever you're trying to treat or prevent any kind of disease. The second are some supplements that you can take. Good old vitamin C. There's a supplement called AHCC that has some human studies backing it up that shows it can help clear HPV faster. And the third is folic acid. Women who are diagnosed with HPV are shown to be deficient in folate. So replace folic acid.
Okay, and
the third is
oh
stress.
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Stress plays a huge role in our immune system. We have to learn to deal with our stress.
Okay, yeah, gosh, that helps us in all facets of life too. And what about regular screening, making sure you're staying on top of your health and the information that you have?
Absolutely, so important. Early detection, especially for cervical cancer, is key. Cervical cancer can be devastating, and if caught early, it's absolutely treatable, and HPV is preventable if it's caught early too. So screening is really, really key. Speak to your gynecologist to find out what the new screening rules are now, because they are a little bit longer. We can start a little bit later, but just because you're older doesn't necessarily, you don't need pap smears anymore. You still do.
Yeah, and also no matter your age or demographic, safe sex practices still matter and make a big difference.
Absolutely. We can't forget about it. It's not just HIV, it's all sexually transmitted diseases. So safe sex practices are super important.
What if you find yourself diagnosed with HPV? What do you do next? What are some things that you can help maintain your health?
So right now, all the regular medicine has to offer is watch and wait, where here's your diagnosis, let's repeat it in 6 months. So things to boost our immune system or modulate our immune system, going back to those three things: hydration, stress, supplementation, AHCC, vitamin C, folate, eating real food. Get rid of ultra processed foods, try eating really good, clean diet, exercise, like the segment you just had.
Yes, absolutely. And what about getting men involved in the conversation? How can they support the women in their lives and be allies in making sure that they're getting all the health information and access that they need?
Well, men can be directly affected, so they must be a part of this conversation. It is a sexually transmitted disease. They're put at risk for certain cancers, esophageal and rectal, anal cancers. So men must be involved in the conversation. Your partners need to be involved. So it can't be taboo. And by the way, HPV is super, super, unfortunately, virulent. So it's very contagious. But once again, the good news is that our immune systems, if we take care of it, our bodies will take care of this virus and get rid of it on its own.
Great. Hey, thank you so much for chatting with us today. Great information.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll have more on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.